RomCom, romantic comedy, a genre that has been a staple in anime since its early days, with classics from the 70s and 80s like Kimagure Orange Heart and Maison Ikkoku, among others. But much like the Mahou Shoujo genre, it slowly lost its space over the years and eventually became oversaturated. It's fair to say that RomCom is an oversaturated genre, much like Isekai. However, amidst all the animes and series with this type of story, there is always that diamond in the rough, the precious gem that shines brighter than the other, rising to a unique and different level. It's simply something that stands out above the rest. Today, two series managed to bring this to the romantic comedy genre. They are Kaguya-sama Love is War and The Prince presents the best anime of the last 5 years, The Dangers in My Heart, BokuYaba. This anime is the art of minimalism, the art of simplicity. How come something so simple be so incredibly well executed, filled with heart, unable to convey so much despite its apparent simplicity? At first glance, BokuYaba might seem to follow the typical formula of an awkward boy and an outgoing girl slowly falling in love, but what sets it apart is its subtle execution and the depth of its characters, especially Kyotaro and Anna. From the beginning, the series offers not only an adorable romance, but also an inspiring story of self-growth and emotional resilience. The story begins with an unlikely connection between the two main characters, Kyotaro Ichikawa and Anna Yamada. Kyotaro is reserved, a socially awkward middle schooler who retreats into his dark thoughts, ever imagining himself as a misunderstood outsider. Anna, on the other hand, is the popular, lively girl that everyone in the school seems to adore. At first glance, they couldn't be more different, but their paths cross when Kyotaro, despite his initial distant feelings toward the others, notices Anna in moments when she lets her guard down, sneaking alone in the library, away from the gaze of her peers. This encounter sparks the beginning of their unlikely friendship, with Kyotaro slowly becoming intrigued by Anna's true self, which she only reveals in private. What starts as quiet observation and brief encounters blossoms into something more substantial as Anna begins to take interest in Kyotaro. Well, basically things get more interesting here. Anna recognizes his thoughtful nature beyond his introverted exterior. In small, gradual steps, they start to spend more time together, moving from stranger to casual friends. This slow progression is where BokuYaba excels, allowing the characters to build their bond organically without rushing into romantic tropes. But what really caught my attention in this series was how much I could relate to the protagonist Kyotaro Ichikawa, and how I come to see the world more broadly through understanding everything he went through. He became a sort of self-insert for me in real life. He is quiet, introverted, and struggles with social interactions. Social interactions is literally my nightmare, for real. You have absolutely no idea. So watching Kyotaro's journey felt personal. His challenges with socializing and expressing himself hit close to home, especially during moments where his inner voice holds him back from engaging with others. These internal monologues, while a familiar trope, are executed with great care, highlighting the self-doubt that many of us experience. I find it fascinating how his inner self, which at first seemed like a random character used only for comedic effect, is actually what Kyotaro idolizes, and in a way, it's who he really is. I'll dive more into this later, as it was something deeply important to me. Before continuing, I want to talk about the first opening of the series, which ties into what I mean by the art of simplicity. Look at these lyrics. This is just cinema. At the beginning of BokuYaba, Kyotaro was incredibly shy and closed off until he meets the sun. This sun shines intensely, someone he can hardly face. It's as if they are opposites. That someone is Anna Yamada, person who shines like the light of the sun. If you notice, in the BokuYaba opening, Kyotaro's side is always dark and without light, while Anna's is the opposite, symbolizing how it seems Kyotaro couldn't belong to Anna's world. But then the light decides to illuminate the darkness, and Anna begins to talk and show more interest in Kyotaro, which is also portrayed in the opening. Look how much can be conveyed in just 1 minute and 30 seconds. This is why I love analyzing good anime openings and music in general. Anna's interest in Kyotaro feels genuine, and she never pressures him to change who he is. Instead, she provides the quiet encouragement he needs to slowly become more comfortable in his own skin. Their relationship becomes a beautiful example of how a supportive connection can help both people grow. Anna might seem bubbly and carefree on the surface, but she clearly values Kyotaro for who he truly is, making their bond all the more special. This is why I love BokuYaba Season 1 so much, almost as much as Season 2, because everything we see was planned from the very beginning. The contrast in BokuYaba is amazing. We have Kyotaro who, like, he's literally me for real. He has a lock that prevents him from doing what he wants due to insecurity or fear of what others might think. As the anime itself says, the biggest thing holding someone back is themselves. Deep down, we know we can do whatever we set our minds to, but we often sell ourselves short. On the other hand, we have Anna Yamada, a free spirit who does whatever she loves purely out of spontaneity, joy and innocence. These two worlds gradually start to coexist, and that's what makes BokuYaba romance so beautiful and satisfying to experience. And now, a letter to myself. Kyotaro is one of the characters I've most identified with in real life. And what makes it even better is his confident inner voice, which played a significant role in his character development. There was a scene in Season 2 where this really stood out, and it was simply absolute cinema. That's when my 10/10 rating was sealed. The alter ego Lucifer Nagorikawa delivered a monologue on that table. I don't know the name of this table. Anyways, it's where Kyotaro was going to do his own speech. You might think it's just cliché self-confidence speech, but for me it had a deep meaning. Remember who trusts you the most. It's not your teachers, it's not your parents, it's not even your closest friends. It's you. Remember who loves you the most. It has to be you. If I love myself, then I can love others even more. If I believe in myself, then I can believe in you, because I trust myself to trust you. Take pride in yourself and build your own confidence. Peak. At the end of BokuYaba Season 2, we see a different Kyotaro, more confident, determined. It's beautiful to witness someone who has genuinely transformed and is ready to move forward. It's a huge inspiration for any introverted person feeling trapped by their own insecurities, and it delivers a powerful message of self-love and courage in facing the world and our fears. The main message of The Danger is in My Heart: get out there, live, fall flat on your face, be awkward, it will all be fine. You find your own tribe, and you find those that you love and love you, whether it's romantically or not, does not matter. Be free, live. And then we have opening 2, comparing myself to others. I found to self-loathing. It's scared, but still, in everything about you, I find salvation. The world you showed me was incredibly beautiful. It's like I'm becoming someone else. Those days you are somehow there to me. Once again, I come to know love through you. Do I need to say more? If so, I conclude with this. Thank you, BokuYaba, for showing me how that is good and meaningful, how to build genuine relationships, and how to cherish and love someone you hold dear. Over the course of this story, I come to understand not only the nature of friendships, but also the simplicity and essence of love. I never truly understood what it was like to love someone, even though I had ideas about true love from Kaguya-sama. Hey, possible next video coming soon. And how to develop it. BokuYaba showed me the practical aspects of how, when, and why I should act. These are such simple things that brought me so much meaning, and it built a moral foundation in my mind. Ah, so this is how you take care of someone you love. Kinda, I don't know how to say this, but yeah, it was impactful for me. This is why Dangerous in My Heart, BokuYaba is the best anime of the last 5 years, because it shows how art is truly beautiful even in simple stories. Value the simple stories because they are capable of telling you more things than you think. Showdown.